Hello everyone, welcome to the final part of Rayman Origins. In this part, we beat the game and the land of the Livid dead and maybe stay on topic for once. I don't know. Tricky Temple 2 as well. I don't know. I always like that pun. Uneasy to please.
It got old when Bug 2 did it. You know?
Critically acclaimed Bug 2 that everyone's talking about?
I mean, if you had gaming magazines at the time, you definitely knew about Bug and Bug 2. It was just a Sega Saturn game, so fucking no one bought it.
Was Bug 2 the 3D one?
The Bug games... I don't know about Bug 2, actually. I never played that one. I did play Bug 1, and what it was a 2D sprite-based game that it was a 2D/3D platforming game that ran on a maze system. So you were always locked on a track based on like where the maze was headed, but sometimes it would go forward, backward, left, right, you know. So not so much 3D movement and just you know, four directional movement.
So, does it play like Pac-Man or...
Actually, that would be a good comparison. There are some maze-based 3D Pac-Man games that do share some similarities with the way the Bug series handled things.
The way you're describing it sounds an awful lot like Miss Pac-Man's Maze Madness, which I hated that game growing up.
You know, I would say Miss Pac-Man's Maze Madness does somewhat resemble Bug. Although obviously Miss Pac-Man's Maze Madness has more Pac-Man-like objectives to do while you're playing the game, whereas Bug was more of a traditional platformer.
The magician was the bad guy the whole time. Gasp.
Shock horror.
And then Rayman just
So anyway,
lands
back to
in
Bug.
Labyrinth Zone.
Yeah, pretty much.
Labyrinth Zone Act 4, yeah.
So the fun twist is that the lums we've been collecting this entire time is powering his evil base, where he does something. I don't know.
He does evil things.
It's another video game twist where you were helping the bad guy all along.
You were helping the bad guy the whole time. I know, right? Extremely shocking.
It would be more shocking if every video game ever written didn't use the plot twist at some point.
Yeah. I mean, it's just funny because in the original game, the magician was just a regularly helpful character. So if you played the original, you're generally not expecting it. Like they just kind of play with the reboot space a little bit, which is neat in a Marvel Ultimate Universe kind of way. Although instead of doing something like making Gwen Stacy Carnage or Captain America racist, they were just like, what if this one good guy was actually a bad guy? And they were like, cool, but this game doesn't have a plot anyway.
When did they make Captain America racist?
In the Ultimate Marvel comics from the 2000s. So this is before Ultimate Miles Morales. This is like when they first started it. They did the Ultimate Avengers, and Captain America is just like a grumpy, conservative, racist old man.
Okay, so...
And it's like the first scene in the Ultimate Avengers is... actually, sorry, they're called the Ultimates. The Ultimates, my apologies. Is like, what, do you think the A on this hat stands for France? And it's like, okay, Cap.
You could have picked a country that starts with an A and made that joke actually funny, like Argentina, maybe.
Yeah, as opposed to the...
You think this A stands for Guatemala?
Yeah, because the French are so cowardly living in the terror of the Nazi regime.
It stands for ass kicker.
Now, you see, I'm just imagining like a Captain America Duke Nukem, where he's just like doing a bad American like puns and shit.
Yeah, you know, this ultimate version of Captain America just sounds like some old guy cosplaying as Captain America. And
Yeah, it's like basically.
you just kind of keep expecting Steve Rogers to walk in and ask where his costume went. Like he's that guy who stole Dante's coat in Devil May Cry 2.
Oh yeah, this is also random where he makes his getaway by distracting us with a disco rave.
He's using the Groovatron. He stole it from Ratchet and Clank's universe.
I thought he was gonna like cast a spell on us when he was raising his
The
hands
magician
like
is a planeswalker.
3 black +1 target creature dances until next up.
No, you see, the planeswalkers don't work like regular spells or stuff. They do have like mana costs to cast, but once they're out, they actually use their abilities by either gaining or spending like loyalty. I think it's called. Basically, they have their own health. They have their own health pool. They can be attacked instead of the player, and some of their abilities gain them health, and some of their abilities lose some health. So, I'm going way too involved with this, but the point is, planeswalkers are cool. And I don't know where I was going with this in the first place.
Do a backflip. If you can't, you lose the game. That's where you're going with this.
Yeah.
There is a magic card from one of the joke sets where you have to do an arm wrestle with somebody, and if you win the arm wrestle, then your creature kills the other creature, which I just find. And there's another one where you can high five. If you can high five as many people as possible in the span of like a minute, you get that many life points. And I'm like, that stuff's dumb.
Those kind of cards might, like, in the rare occasion that those kind of cards are intended to be played with, they might actually be for Commander.
Yeah,
which
they're not like legal in anything. Like, there's a card where you're literally allowed to cheat it onto the field, but if anybody catches you, it gets sent to the graveyard immediately. Oh, was that guy just smacking his ass at us? Wow, fuck you, fuck you, dude.
But like, a card of that type would actually like be kind of fun to mess with in a Commander game, because Commander is. Do you know what Commander is?
Yeah, I know what Commander is, and yeah, it's like it's the fun. It's the mode that people just play for fun. It's not like a tournament thing.
It's
because I remember there was a thing. This is one of my favorite Magic the Gathering trivias. Is there's an old card where you're supposed to from the very first set where you're supposed to throw it in the air, and if it lands on specific cards, it blows them all up. And so supposedly one guy ripped the card up into a bunch of tiny pieces and sprinkled it all over his opponent's side of the field to blow up all of his stuff.
But it wasn't illegal.
It's chaos
It wasn't illegal, so
yeah.
it stood.
Yeah, and then
that card is chaos.
And then they ended up making a joke card about it where you're supposed to rip it into pieces in order to play it correctly. So yeah, I just love when games can take the shit out of themselves and be like, yeah, our game is stupid.
The early days of any trading card game are bound to have issues as they work out what kind of rules work best with their game format. But Commander is special in that it's actually a multiplayer free-for-all format, in that there's more than just 2 players. You're actually playing with like a group of people, ideally 5 or 6 different players. So there's more room for really outlandish card effects in Commander.
Is there, John, you would know this, is there a multiplayer version of Yu-Gi-Oh! Where there's like more than 2 people?
Like, oh, you mean like some sort of battle royale setting?
Because I know there's an episode of the anime where there is, because it's like Yugi and Joey versus...
They do that a couple of times.
Yeah.
The Battle City finals.
Yeah,
was
tag
like
team battles. They're based on Magic's 2-headed giant format, which is 2-on-2.
If there is, I'm not aware of it. I don't like doing like battle royale tag team duels.
Yu-Gi-Oh's official card game rules don't really work outside of 1-on-1.
Yeah, it doesn't lend itself to the tag team like format.
With
well, I mean, I mean,
And turns already in the current format already take like half a goddamn hour. Why would I want to
with Magic the Gathering, what they actually end up doing is they make like specific card sets that are just made for Commander and nothing else. So, like right now, you've got another Dungeons and Dragons Forgotten Realms set that's Commander Legends 2, and it's all Commander cards.
yeah, because I know the big thing about Yu-Gi-Oh! 2 is that like the matches are never more than like 5 minutes, which is why there's so much like standing around and being like, oh my god, what's Yugi gonna do? It's because if they tried to have more moves in the game wouldn't last long enough for that to happen.
You got that right. Well, I was actually revisiting old Yu-Gi-Oh! Like episodes, and it's like some of these like duels go for like 5 episodes, and like 3/4 of it are just them fucking reminiscing
Part
about shit
of
in the
that
past. It's like,
is because the anime had the same thing going on that Naruto did, where they had to stretch out every episode because they were running concurrently with the manga, and they didn't want to pull ahead. So
I thought that the Yu-Gi-Oh! Manga and the anime were just completely different though.
They are.
they kind of are, but the Duel Monsters manga was adapting the manga at the time, which is why they take a break in the middle of the Battle City arc on the blimp to go and do a filler arc, because at the time the Battle City arc was still going in the manga, and they had to wait for it to finish before actually doing the episodes for its climax. Oh, what's this?
We beat the game, so it's playing the final cutscene.
That was the final boss?
Well, the game doesn't really have a final boss. It just kind of has a final level. So yeah, so we did the dramatic chase sequence. The section right after the...
And we're right back where we started.
Wait, they pulled a more dramatic and mechanically satisfying version of the final boss from Crash Bandicoot 2, basically.
Yeah, so like the real final challenge is right after the disco dance scene. And it's one of the only lengthy areas of the game without checkpoints. I cut to my successful attempt because I died a lot there. But that's like supposed to be the last platforming challenge of the game, and then you've got the last like space shooter section of the game. And then the real final area is the Land of the Livid Dead, which you unlock by doing all the treasure chest levels. So normally when you're playing the game, you're like really excited. But then you get to these credit sequences, which, no joke, actually last 20 minutes.
Standard Ubisoft.
Yeah. I speed them up by 5 times, and it's like 4.5 minutes in the video.
You know, I am 90% convinced that the reason Ubisoft has such a hard time with credits is because they're extremely paranoid about what their lawyers tell them they have to have in the credits.
I mean, nobody should ever not be credited for the game. It's just, you don't have to, like, make them go so slow or have such big, have such big text.
That's my problem with it. It's like, if they scroll so fucking slow, I'm not sitting through the entire thing.
No, thank
Sorry.
you.
Wait, this is like the final challenge area.
Yeah, this is the final challenge area. The music in this area is great. So you're actually dealing with the cranky old ladies who woke you up at the beginning of the game.
This is a unique level theme, though.
Yeah, this is it's based off of the Rayman 3, I think, Land of the Livid Dead, if I remember correctly. But yes, this is the last level in the game. It's hard.
I'm just really impressed by this, because like when games do like, the super hard final level, like Grandmaster Galaxy or some shit, it's like it's usually made of prefab parts. And not,
yeah, no, this is a completely unique level, and the track. This is the most well-known track in the game, the one that's playing right now. And it's just like, this area is so cool.
I'm definitely seeing why people brought this game up when talking about Sonic the Hedgehog 4.
Didn't the song come back in
Yes,
Legends?
they made it one of the music stages.
Yeah, it's like a hard rock rendition, but I like the like acoustic guitar kind of westerny version a little bit more.
Right. Yeah.
Just because, I don't know, it has more like, it fits the level theme. But like this part actually, I did actually do this all in one go, and I was like sweating bullets because it's just like I've never gotten this far without dying.
What happened? I blanked. What happened?
Yeah, but like I think I die like coming up real. Yeah, I die here,
Yeah,
and I'm
there
like,
you
oh
go.
god damn it. I would love to one
It's like
day.
you lose consciousness in the spirit of platforming overtakes
I
your
know,
body.
right? I would love to one day do a no death run of this. I think I could probably do it. The level's not too long if you do it without deaths. It's like maybe 3 or 4 minutes.
We got another slippery climb. Not slippery climb.
Yeah.
Stormy descent.
Stormy
Is
Ascent,
Slippery Climb the one that was originally in the game?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Slippery Climb was the only one. No, there were 2 already, right? Yeah, no, there were 2 Stormy levels.
Yes, it was, but there was one, the too hard one that was technically on the disc, but cut out for being too difficult for everyone.
No, I know that's Stormy Ascent.
But there were two
I'm talking
other ones. Yeah.
There were 2 other ones, right? Yeah.
Did they ever add in any other hard levels for 2 and 3 on the Crash collection?
They did make one for 3, but that wasn't based on anything. That was just an entirely original level.
Yeah, that was a unique level. It's really weird. They were very selective with that. I was kind of expecting more of that for Insane,
Yeah.
but they do one for Stormy Ascent and then one for.
It kind of felt like the one level that they did for Crash 3 was Activision testing the waters to see if people actually would go in for new Crash Bandicoot content.
Right.
Well, there's a rumor going on right now that they're making a Crash 5.
I mean, they'd be
So-
stupid not to.
I
But-
mean, they'd be stupid not to make a Spyro 4 with how well Toys for Bob did with the remakes of Spyro, but then they said put Toys for Bob into the Call of Duty dungeon, and they're never getting out ever again. So
It would-
you know.
technically be a Spyro 5, I think.
Yeah, but Crash 4 is also technically Crash 5, but we don't talk about the actual Crash 4.
Well, no, it's technically Crash 6 because Twin Sanity was 5 in Japan.
Twinsanity was 5 in Japan?
Yes.
Are we also just ignoring Crash of the Titans and Mind
Well,
of
yeah.
Well, at the very least, those are a reboot, so like...
I mean, we're also ignoring
Are they?
the weird reboot Spyro games, too, for the purposes of this conversation.
Go Ted, go.
He can't save himself. So
yeah, like, kills my momentum and my time, but I can technically do it.
Fucking Mega Man X this
Yeah.
shit.
you made it.
My butthole.
Right, okay. You, mute the mic if you gotta take a shit. Okay?
Yeah, so this is the final boss. This is, like...
I mean, between where we were before, between the environments and now,
Shit.
yeah, between the environment we were in and now, this is basically just cartoony Bloodborne.
It is, yeah. But why are we fighting this
God,
thing?
you're right. So there is a reason. You'll find out when we actually beat the boss. Once you memorize her patterns, she's not that bad, but she moves in very unnatural ways, so it's hard to get.
Oh,
a good-
yeah. She's literally being a contortionist here.
Yeah, and also like there's some very hard timing with like she's only above the ground there for a couple seconds, so that you can and then that.
Fucking final boss is Adobe motion tweening.
Yeah, and you also get a very brief time in order to hit her weak point. Otherwise, you have to go through the whole cycle all over again. Also, this thing's just gross.
Again, straight out of Bloodborne.
Was she a snake?
She's
No,
like
she's
some
like-
weird tentacle thing.
Ooh, you
Oh my
barely
God.
survived that.
I've never played Bloodborne, so I don't know what like the final boss is.
It's
But
Lovecraft
yeah, it's one of
stuff.
it's the goth nymph. Was
Bloodborne goes from, like, gothic horror to Lovecraft horror. So it's all really... Oh. Sure,
Yeah.
let's destroy the credits before any of the names can show up.
if you want to get the
Yeah,
most
speed 'em
lums
up.
in here, that's what you got to do. You never actually read any of the things. You're just running back and forth, mashing the attack button for actually 20 minutes.
Back in the sweatshop
You
slaves.
see, this if it rolled up this fast, actually, instead of me,
Speeding it up, it'd be fine. Yeah.
yeah, like I mean, 5 minutes is still a decent
lot,
bit, but like you know,
I
like
can handle 5 minutes. Yeah.
you can read everybody's name. They give you a little thing to do during the credits. Like that was always my favorite thing about like the Monkey Ball games was that they gave you like a little mini game to play during the credits. I'm always a big fan of that stuff.
It does
But
get
yeah.
kind of old when you've beaten classic mode in Smash Brothers like 20,000 times and you're still shooting
No, but
lasers
you
at the
don't
crowd.
understand. If you get every single one, you unlock Toad. If you get every single
It's
one.
true. I've done it.
Yeah, all of them you get Toad. If you get 20 KOs in Cruel Melee, it's Sonic and Tails.
You know, to this day, I've never seen anybody actually hit all of the credits in Melee because that's just dumb.
I think you can find it YouTube.
Yeah, I'm sure
video on it.
someone's done it.
I'm sure someone's
Yeah.
done it, but like in Smash 64, it's fairly easy because they all come in a pretty. Yeah, my
It's just fucking Ted
How
fell
dare
asleep.
you put down the controller during the credits?
and then I'm holding down the R button while I'm checking my phone or something. Here. Which is why you see Rayman like freaking out in the corner there. But in Smash 64, you can just kind of mash A and you're good. But in Melee, they like zip around all over the place and you can't ever find where any of them are. It's not like you can practice too because you have to beat classic mode every time. It's like yeesh.
Then in like the current Smash game, Smash Ultimate, you can just sort of go back and forth and hold the fire button and you'll probably be okay.
I don't even remember what Smash Ultimate's credits minigame is.
It's you're on like the platform and you kind of like use the super scope to shoot everything.
Yeah, and the credits just
Yeah.
go by sometimes straight, sometimes to the side, sometimes diagonal, but you just have to hit all the names.
So the max score for the credits in Melee is 190. There's 190 things you have to shoot, and there are videos of people doing
So
it.
people have gotten all of them.
Does it show them unlocking Toad?
It cuts out afterwards, bastards.
Oh man, I'm sure he's there though. Like,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's there. In fact, rumor has it that if you do a certain maneuver with Peach, you get to unlock him early.
really? Wow.
Yeah. I'm very intelligent.
Oh man. I think this is longer because it's Ubisoft. Whenever Ubisoft does anything, the credits are obnoxious. Sonic Colors, I think, is another infamous example of the credits taking.
Oh, play Sonic Colors remastered.
Don't they add like
whatever the fuck it
another
was called.
4 minutes of credits and there's not even any music?
No, it's 15 minutes.
Another 15
15
minutes? Wait,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
15 minutes longer than it was originally?
Yeah, it's way longer. In fact, it was so long that in the original release, before they patched it, the music just stopped, and it's just Sonic running in silence.
so that the music would loop, didn't they? Ah,
Yeah,
So what you're saying is that none of the playtesters could be bothered to watch the whole credit sequence?
maybe I don't
Oh
know.
my God.
what it is
I
some
couldn't tell you.
decision maker said that they didn't care if people liked the credits. They just wanted to have all the names in for legal reasons. So they figured, if a few people are annoyed, who cares? They'll just put the controller down and go get a soda. If you've gotten
you
to the
skip
credits,
But that's a game that the credits are so long in that one because they
if
scroll
you've gotten to the
horizontally
credits,
and
if
they're
you've gotten to the
large.
credits, you've already bought the game. They don't care. Nobody is going to decide. Nobody
Suckers.
is going to let the runtime of the
Credits at the end of a game dictate their decision to buy the game in the first place. So
The end.
Yeah. So anyway, short version, this game's great. I love this game.
And it's on a lot of
It
things.
is,
too.
they need to port it again so that you can, because we're getting to the point where the only I'm saying
The F.
what
no,
the F?
you should have left that.
The F.